What is the COVID situation like in our other parts of the country? We now talk to Professor Guido David from the OCTA Research Group. Good morning, Professor David. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Hi, good morning, Ria.
All right, Professor, we've been seeing the number of daily COVID cases increase and decrease over the past 2 weeks. Last Monday, we were at 9,055. And then yesterday, we're suddenly back past the 12,000 mark. Is this something that we should be worried about? And what is triggering this roller coaster movement?
Actually, Ria, looking at the data closely, we are not really concerned about it. The uptick or the spike in cases is mostly due to delayed reports of backlog. And so what we're seeing right now is actually a continued decrease in the overall trend. And if we look at in the NCR, for example, the 7-day average has dropped below 2,000 cases. And this is the first time that it's below 2,000 cases since the first week of August, which was actually before the ECQ started. So in effect, we have already reversed the trend in the NCR down to before even the ECQ was implemented. And the reproduction number in the NCR decreased to 0.63. Now, having said that, admittedly, there are areas where the surge is still happening. It's still increasing in some areas in northern Luzon. And as you mentioned, in Zamboanga and in Bacolod, they're still in the midst of it. So definitely we have to focus resources on these areas. But the general trend in the NCR, Calabarzon, Central Luzon, Cebu, of course, is that the cases are going downward.
All right, that is good news. But as you said, there are certain areas, Zamboanga, northern Luzon, where there is increase. Now, we're in the last quarter of 2021, Professor. What are your projections till the end of the year? I mean, are you seeing a trend that enables you to forecast what's going to happen at the end of the year?
Yes, actually, Maria, when we look at the trends here in the country and also in other countries outside, other countries, other Asian countries, what we're seeing is that there is no significant threat apart from the Delta variant, and that countries which have been able to stop the Delta variant are already in a good situation right now. Cases have not had a resurgence. Now, we're not talking about every country because there are countries right now which are seeing a surge, like Singapore. Russia is also seeing an increase in cases because vaccination is low in Russia. In Singapore, vaccination uptake is high, it's a unique situation. But in the Philippines, what we're seeing right now is the trend in the NCR will continue to go down. And we project that by, before the end of October, the NCR could be averaging less than 1,000 cases per day. I mean, this is possible based on the current trajectory. And we could be at, moderate to low risk already by November. And that's what we're seeing, at least in the NCR. Now, in these other hotspots that we talked about in northern Luzon, particularly in Region 2, in Isabela and in Nueva Vizcaya, where they're still having a surge. Of course, it will take some time to control these, control the surge. In Zamboanga, of course, they're still in the midst of it. So the situation is uneven in the country, but most of the major metropolitan areas are on a downward trend. And we are projecting that the fourth quarter will be good for businesses, especially in the NCR plus area, and that we should be heading for a bright December, actually.
All right, that is good to hear and music to people's ears, to be sure. Now, on Friday, October 15th, alert level 4 here in Metro Manila will again lapse. Are we ready to ease restrictions? Is it possible to have bigger gatherings maybe come Christmas?
Well, I think we're ready to ease restrictions based on the metrics that we're looking at. We could be possibly at alert level 3 or maybe even 2. Of course, the IATF and the Department of Health have their own criteria, so it would depend on how their numbers look like. But definitely, we think that if the projections hold and that the situation opens up even further, especially by November, I believe that gatherings are, would be possible this time at Christmas because we're not seeing a credible threat outside the country.
All right, here's hoping it stays that way. Thank you always for your time, OCTA Research Fellow Guido David.